Shalom everyone! Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna share with you one of my life testimony once again. I'm gonna share with you how God saved my life a lot of times since I was a little kid, when I was a child, until I grew up. I just want to share how God's hands and miracles is so evident through all those stages in my life. I don't know if any one of you have known my stories. Maybe if you are my friend on Facebook and I have posted it like a few years ago, you might know this already, but if not, so continue watching. Okay guys, so here is my story. I was born on June 22, 1991, around 1 a.m. in the morning. So that's the time when my first cry has been heard in our province. So actually guys, I was born into a small province in Israel. It's like a moshab or kibbutz, something like this, but not in the city. I can really say that I'm really blessed to be born there, because it is also says in the Bible that God determined the exact place where we will born. You know, or like, okay, Yohanna, I want you to be born here in the Philippines, or I want you to be born in the United States, or I want you to be born in Israel, or I want you to be born in Brazil, in Mexico, in India, or anywhere in the world. Things that I'm going to tell you are just the story that I remember vividly when I was a kid. And I think there are a lot more times that God saved my life, but since I was a little child, I don't remember them at all. So all of this that I'm going to say to you are those incidents in my life that I vividly remember. I was 6 years old when I was hospitalized because of dengue. Yes guys, the mosquitoes really love me. I was always in and out of the hospital, and you know, it happened every 3 years. So I've been to hospital when I was 6 years old, then again when I was 9 years old, and then again when I was 11 years old. It was crazy because when I was a child, you know, my dad is working abroad. You know, he's working as a seaman, and my mom is I don't like to tell a story. I'm crying. I cry. So easily cry. Okay, Katka. When I have a dengue before, I remember I will feel very sick. I will have a high fever, and then I will have some rashes here, rashes there, and then my mom will just bring me to the hospital, and they will admit me there for days and even for months. I remember one time when our neighbor visited us, and I've been to hospital for months. And when I was a kid, it was in and out of the hospital, and of course my mom is always need to pay everything in the hospital. Whenever I've been there, days, weeks, months, I remember that. And that's why I really don't like the hospital now when I grow up. But you know, sometimes you really need to go to check yourself to make sure you're healthy. But yeah, I've been to hospital a lot of times when I was a kid, and I mean, like, in and out of that, even in these important celebrations like holidays. So, you know, I don't know why I'm crying, because I don't like really to tell a story because it brings so much memories. Yeah, but I want to share with you how God really works in my life since I was a kid. You know, my mom will be with me all those holidays and celebration, like me and my mom only in the hospital. I remember that when I was a kid, and I will tell to my mom, like, Mom, we are here, you know, both of us alone. It's a lot of days in the school because I know I'm going to school. So when I return to school, I need to catch up with all those studies. And yeah, I was a little kid, you know, 6 years old, 9 years old, and 11, you know. So but as I grow up, I understand better. I became used to it. I guess when I remember when I was 11, I became used to it already. Like when I go to the hospital and they will say that, you have dengue, you need to be admitted. It's like I am not afraid of the needle anymore that they put into my hands, because they put me so much needle before. My trip to hospital with a lot of times really make me stronger when I was a kid. Like okay, once the doctor told me she's had high fever, she needs to be admitted, it's like, okay, again, I know what to do. So yeah, but I mean, when you were a kid, you don't really realize how much the sacrifices of your parents for you. But when you grow up, you realize like how much, you know, they really care for you. They were there, you know. I remember my mom will be there for me 24/7. But of course, he needs to go back home, get something. So I really appreciate all the care of my mom, of course my dad, and my dad is always not there, he is working. So but I really appreciate it as well. And sometimes he will call, and then my mom is in the hospital and she will ask why. So Joanne is again sick with the dengue, she needs to be there. So yeah, it was really, I think, a hard time for a parents that your kid have been sick every 3 years and you need to go to the hospital and she needs to be admitted. It makes you realize all those sacrifices really of your parents. But also when you are able to go through that, you see all the hands of God working through all those days, months that He provided for me and for my parents. My parents will be able to pay all the bills. Not only that, you know, my sister is also studying that time. I have an older sister, so she's also studying. She needs also to pay for her, you know, monthly school fees. So, you know, everything together. Yeah, so, yeah, it was really a very tough times and hard times for us, but we get through that. So, looking back, you know, you will just say that, wow, really, He is at work during those times, even though sometimes it's not visible to our eyes and we cannot feel it because we are suffering and anything. But when you realize it after those incidents, that wow, God is really at work even during those times. Through all those times that I've been in the hospital and I was admitted, of course, I was able to recover, because you can see me now. But you know, during my time before, there's a lot of people who died from dengue, like really a lot, a high cases of children dying from dengue every month. But you know, I've had this for every 3 years and I was able to survive, and I survived it. I mean, I survived this. So yeah, so I thank God for that He really saved my life and really preserved me until now, of course. And then I remember I was 9 years old. You know, when you were a kid, you're really very, how do you call that? You're very naughty and you like to play so much. So I was 9 years old and there was a swing. Because my dad, when he usually go back home for his holiday, because he was a seaman, and then he will go back home 1 month, he will stay for his vacation. He usually made us a swing, which is connected to both trees together. So every time my dad is at home, he will make this swing. It is made of sack, actually, guys. If I find some photos, I will put it. So this swing is made of sack, and then he will put both rope on these 2 sides, and I really love to play on that swing when I was a kid. So I'm playing there with my playmate, of course, Sunshine. I think I remember you, Mars. Yeah, I remember you. You're the one with me that time. So we are playing on the swing together, and sometimes, you know, you want to do some tricks when you want to play with the swing. So I try to stand on the swing, you know, like you put your both feet together into the sack, into the sack that is made, that it's a swing. I don't know if you get what I mean, guys, but yeah. So I put my, I want to make a trick that I'm standing while I'm swinging. So I try that, and then when I tried to do the trick, I fell down to the ground directly with my face and my chest on the ground, and I cannot breathe. Really, I cannot breathe, and it was like a big boom. And then Mars, Sunshine called my mom and like, she fell down. So my mom ran. I was losing consciousness. I remember that I was losing consciousness because I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe properly. It seems like I have a rib cage that was damaged or something. I cannot breathe and I'm losing consciousness. And my mom told me, don't close your eyes, don't close your eyes, don't sleep. And I am trying to open my eyes because my mom said that it's very hard if I lose my consciousness or if I was able to close my eyes. So my mom told me, hey, breathe slowly, in, out, in, out. So I follow what my mom said in breathing slowly, and I started to breathe and to breathe. And my mom asked them to get some water, get some water. So when they got some water and they, I drink something because my mom told me drink something so that you will feel. And I try to drink something even if I cannot breathe. Do you know how it's feeling when you cannot breathe? And you really cannot breathe properly because your chest is aching so much. So I try to drink some water, and then I breathe in, breathe out, like very slowly, because my mom said, please don't close your eyes, don't close your eyes, just breathe slowly in and out. So I tried that, and then I didn't give up. It's like I'm a warrior when I was a kid. So I didn't give up. I follow what my mom said, and little by little I recover. I can breathe already. I was like, oh wow, thank God I can breathe already. So when my mom said, are you okay? So I became okay after that. Like everything is back to normal. And from there, I didn't even go to the doctor to check if I have something or rib cage damage or something. No, it's just one incident that happened. Nothing is wrong after that. Like didn't experience any problem in breathing again after that. So I really thank God. I can say that I really love and I really enjoyed my childhood. There's nothing in the world that I can exchange for the childhood that I have before, because it was really fantastic, it was amazing, and I experienced everything when I was a child, when I was a kid. I was really carefree, not like today when you have all the cell phones and iPads and computers. Before, you have the whole ground or the whole earth or the whole forest as your playground when we were a kid. So I really enjoyed it. The next thing is I decided to learn how to ride a bike, bicycle. I said to my uncle, hi Tito Ume, to my uncle, his name is Omi. Hello Tito Omi. So when I was a kid, I said, wow, okay, because when you're a kid, you like to try new things and to have new adventures, and I see people riding a bike, and I said to my uncle, I want to ride a bike. And my uncle knows how to ride a bike, and I told him, can you please teach me to ride a bike? And of course my uncle said, yes, of course. So he taught me how to ride a bike, and so I learned how to ride a bike. So Tito Ume, you're a very good teacher, because I learned how to ride a bike. And then since I know already how to ride a bike, so when I was a kid, okay mama, I want to go now and I want to ride my bike. And the bike that I'm taking is the mountain bike. The mountain bike are those bikes that are big, bigger than me. Of course, I was a kid back then, I'm so small, and the bike that I'm taking is very big. It's called mountain bike. So I was riding a bike into the road. My mom always told me, be careful, don't bike so much because there's a lot of cars going in, going there. And when you're a kid, you don't listen to anyone. Like, you're very hard-headed. You just want to play, you just want to try new things, and you just want to discover new things. I think, actually, when I was a kid, it was like that. Okay, ma, like you will say, okay, mama, it will be fun, but actually you go around and play as long as you want. And I remember when I was a kid, I only go back home when I'm hungry. Yes, I would just go back home to our house when I'm hungry, and after that play again. Like I will go to our neighbor, do playing, and then okay, I'm hungry, okay, go back home to eat lunch, and then later go out again. When you were a kid, I don't know, we are like that when we were kids. We're really carefree, we're really wild and free. I mean, by the word wild, it's like you are on the playground. Your playground is the earth, like all of it. I experienced how to play with the kite, we do the kiting, we even climb a tree. So I told you guys, my my childhood is very amazing, and I told you I wouldn't exchange it for anything else in the world because it's really fantastic. I really love my childhood. So yeah, I was riding a bike. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so I go out and I was so confident because I've been riding a bike I know how to ride the bike already. So I'm so confident. I go outside and I'm riding a bike like this. Dun, 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 dun. And then I didn't know that the bike that I bought, brake is not working. My gosh, because usually you have these two brake correct? When you're holding the bike like that, there's a two brake, but they are not working. It's not working. The mountain bike that I carried that time there's no braking, so the brake is not working. So you need to put down your foot like this, like to the ground, to make it stop. I was riding it. I'm on this hilltop of the road, and I am going down. So it's so nice because when you're going down into the hill, it was like woo. So there is a post in front of me that if I bump on it, of course my head will go first and it will boog, something like that, like like in a car accident or something, when you bump into the post with your head and it dug dug. So I remember when I was going down to this hilltop and my bike go straight like that, and the post is just in front of me like this, but then it stopped. I don't know what happened there, but if I'd be able to stop it that time, I think I'd die already. To tell you honestly, guys, it's like, I don't know, I am really so hard-headed and I really like to play so much when I was a kid. So my bike just stopped and I was so scared. Like when I went down to my bike, I was shaking. I was like, oh my gosh, and the post is just in front of me. I was like, really, my hands are shaking, my feet are shaking. It's like I cannot ride the bike back home because I was so scared. I just have some accident because of that, because of my becoming, because I like to just try things and to do this thing when you were a kid. Yeah, but you see, I was saved once again. It was okay. And of course, it became a lesson to me to become more careful. Check first the brake. So after that, I usually check first the brake before I go out and ride my bike. Check first if it is working, your feet, your foot on the, like that. So yeah, it really became a lesson to me. But after that, guys, actually, I didn't stop riding a bike. I rode again, I guess, a lot more times with my friends, with my cousins. So I still ride, when you're a kid. I don't know, actually, when you are a kid, you have like this childlike faith. Like you're not afraid to do anything. That you should always carry that childlike faith in you. Like you're not afraid to try new things. So, yep. So, actually, that happened. One more thing is, I have an uncle who is a farmer. So my grandmother gave him a lot of land, of course, for him to work on too. And I really like it when he is working with a carabao, carabao in the field, when he was working in the field with his carabao over there. And I like it, as a kid I was always so curious, like, wow, I think I want to ride a carabao, or what they're doing there in the field. Are they sowing something, putting some seeds? You're so curious. I'm so curious when I was a kid. So I went there and I talked to my uncle, like, what he is doing to the field. And he said he is cleaning it, taking out some of the... He is cleaning it and plowing it. He wants to plant crops over there. So, when you were a kid, I said, wow, it's so nice, you're plowing the field. And, when he's plowing the field, many birds go to the field and check if they can get some of their food. And I love birds as well. They're very cute, the small one. I remember when my uncle is plowing the field with his carabao. I was there in the field. I was playing in the field. I am so curious. I guess it's called curiosity. I'm just so curious, my uncle plowing the field with the carabao, why the birds are coming in, looking at the field, getting something. But I think the birds are nakon. They're getting they finding some food over there in the field that they can get. So that time, I was like, okay, I'm trying to catch the bird because the birds are all coming in when he was flowing the field. I was playing around there and I was just running to the field and playing because I was catching some birds there. And then I keep running, and I keep running in the field. And then I didn't know there's some glasses, you know, like a glass, like a pointed glass that is still there on the field. And when I was running, I accidentally stepped on the glass, on my foot. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, it's very, very, very terrible. Like, it was bleeding. My one foot is bleeding so much, and there is the wound that you can see what's inside your foot. I remember that, and I think until now I still have the scar here. I still have the scar here in my foot, you know, like it was bleeding and bleeding so hard. And then I cried and my uncle ran to me and he said, what happened? What happened? You are just running around. I said, oh, there's a glass. And because there's a glass, and they're afraid that I got tetano. You know tetano? Like when there's a rusty something, if not a glass, some rusty thing that might be infected me. I don't know how you say it in English, like a tetanus, something like that. So they're afraid, is it a glass, is it a can, or something that go into your foot. I don't really remember if it is a can, a piece of glass, or a can, because I remember only that my mom is asking, like, we need to make sure that it doesn't have tetanus, something like that, when there's a rust on the can or something. So I was crying so hard, and my uncle bring me home, and my mom said, and my mom again, my mom said, what happened to her? And then my uncle said, wow, she was just running, and then there is a glass or can in the field, and it bleeds so hard, and the wound guys is very big. The wound is so big, and then in the wound you can even open it, and then you can see all those that is inside your foot, like the veins. Oh, really, I don't want to tell you all the details, but it was really, really terrible and amazing. I cannot even look at my feet. So for almost so long, for I don't know how many weeks, I couldn't walk. Of course, I got this big wound on my foot, and I couldn't walk, and you know, couldn't play. But you know, after that incident, still God helped me, and also my wound. And now, you know, when I was a kid, I loved to dance. So I can dance, I can run again, I can walk, I can swing my foot. So that incident really, again, proved me on how God really was there for me during those times. You know, when you were a kid, like, you are not really aware on how important life is, but God is aware of how important you are for His kingdom, for what He was about to do to your life, and for what you're about to do in the future. So again, I was able to go through it, and it doesn't stop there. Another thing is, when I was in high school, I want to go out more with my friends, you know, and we have this fiesta. It's like a festival that we need to go outside and then watch some band or watch some concert. And I remember we went to that festival that time. We supposed to go home, I think 1 a.m. because mostly the concert and the band, they finish around 12 midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., something like that. But since I was just in high school that time, I want to go home early because my parents get angry when you're not at home and when you are at home so late. So I remember that time when, okay, we said, okay, let's go home. So we reached home around 1 a.m., something like that. And then that's it. In the morning, we didn't know that the table and chairs of my grandmother's house has been stolen. They say that the thief comes probably around 1:30 or something like that. And you know, if I didn't go home earlier than that, I might be able to see the thief stealing those tables and chairs of my grandmother's house, and they might do something to me. This is my grandmother's house, this is our house. We are living next to each other, the houses. So I feel so scared, and I said, oh my gosh, I don't want to go home very late again. I was really, really scared, and I really pray. I really thank God. I was like, wow, thank you, Lord, because you know, you protected me. You know, you can say that maybe it's just a coincidence, but as I mentioned, for me, nothing is coincidence. It's this thing happening for a reason. God really protected me from this. He really let me go back home this time, on this hour, because He knows what is coming. And then the last thing, when I was living in Singapore, I was on my way back home from work, of course, and I was walking. I love to walk on this aisle, and I was looking at the moon. And you know, I'm just thanking God. You know, blessed day I have at work, that even though I'm so tired, I'm still thanking for the strength, for everything that He is doing to my life. So, when I was walking there, I need to cross. And then, when I was about to cross, there's this bus that goes through like this. And it's not supposed to go through like this because it's my time to cross, but the bus didn't stop. And then I was like, when I was about to cross, it was just like, you know, there's an air that passes like this. It's like pulling me. So I was not hit by the bus because of this, like something that pulled me back. And the bus super like that. That time, I really thank God, and I said again, wow, Lord, you really saved my life again from this. And I was already on my 20s, of course. I was already at my 20s, and I'm already working. And the thing that I assure you guys is God never stopped caring and loving us since the day we are born and until the day that we grow old. He will never stop caring and loving us and protecting us. And it is evident in my life since the day I was born and until now that I'm married and now that I'm living in Israel. He is always there for me. His protection is always around me. Blood of Yeshua covered me. I'm sharing this to you guys to inspire you and to let you know that we serve a God who knows everything about us since the day that we are born and even before we are formed in our mother's womb. That He is the God who created us. He is the God who gave us life. And we owe everything to Him. We owe our life to Him and we breathe because of Him. I just want to really thank Him and to give Him all the glory for all the things that He has done to my life and the things that He will do to my life, to our life. And I hope that each one of you will learn how to be grateful and to know that your life is a blessing. That your life here on earth is something that you should be thankful for. That, you know, when God created you for something and when God created you for a purpose, no one can hinder that. Even though the enemy tried a lot of times to take away your life or to hinder you from your calling or from your purpose, God will always be there for you, to preserve you, to protect you, to save you, so that you can attain to the fullness what you are being called for, what you have been called for. Because He created you. He is your great master artist who give you life, who give you breath. And we are created on His image and likeness. And yep, so I hope you have been blessed by this testimony and sharing of mine. And I want to close this by the verse that I really love. So here it is. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day passed. Psalm 139 verse 16. So guys, hope you are being blessed by the sharing. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you again in my next vlog. Bye!